Hey guys, what is up? It is Biff from Fearless Mods, and I'm here today to let you know, number one, it's Easter. Happy Easter. Number two, it's April Fool's Day. And I'm here to tell you that we got a partial sponsorship from Mishimoto. And that's no April Fool's, so I'm pretty excited about that. There'll be more to follow on that, so stay tuned. Today, what I'm going to do is take the seat belts that we got back from Safety Restore that fixes the charges in there. We're going to go ahead and install those and hope to get rid of that airbag light. And then we also had the fuse fixed that was running all the relays under the hood. If you've watched any of the videos, you've seen it 100 times. Every time I turned the key on, everything would go crazy under there until the car was running, and then it would be great. But I was able to find a pre-delivery checklist, and we're going to get into that. I'm going to show you the fuse so that you don't have to go to Subaru and spend the same amount of money that I had to just to let them pull a fuse out and fix the problem. That green S13 has his makeshift paint booth in the garage, so we are really tight for space today, but those are some easy things to do, and so we're going to go ahead and get them out after them right now. So if you remember when I did this back in the beginning, this is one of the first things we did to the car. And this section of the fuse box was from the original car, and it's a harness that goes up towards the front. So I didn't replace that. And then off of eBay, I was able to buy a harness that came pretty much across here, these parts, this piece over here, and then this main fuse block and this one additional. So there's a couple of things in the pre-delivery checklist that I'll show you here. One is has to do with not draining the battery while it's doing all its delivery stuff, and that is just this fuse here. It sets in this empty slot where it's connected to nothing, and when they get it delivered they move it over to here to plug it into the actual spot so that all the backup systems now have power, whatever those backup systems are. But there's another one, and I will show you in the original pictures of this piece in the car. You could see the fuse that was right in this slot here. So blue one on the left, blue one on the right. So whenever I did the transfer, I copied that. I made sure that I had a blue one in both positions. Actually, not even from the transfer. This was the original. So at the worst, what I did was maybe take one that looked like it was corroded with battery acid and swap out a new fuse into it. Well, that right there is the culprit. That there is the D-check fuse, or the pre-delivery test mode fuse. So prior to 2015, these STIs had a fuse that was, well, not even a fuse really. They had a connector underneath the driver's side dash that you'll see a lot of people when you do the research talking about as green connectors, and whether it's, I think it's when it's connected together then it's in test mode and you disconnect it and it's not, or vice versa. I could be wrong. But all the symptoms that I would research of the rad fans cycling on and off, it relays across the entire top of the engine, the AC compressor cycling on and off, the fuel pump cycling on and off, all of those different things happening every time I turned the key on prior to start was identical to what would happen in a test mode on the pre-2015 models. Couldn't find anywhere where it said anything about a test mode for this car. I even paid for one of those ridiculous online answer systems where I supposedly had a Subaru expert to help me troubleshoot the car, told him about the problem, post-2015, certified Subaru mechanic, and he couldn't tell me squat. So that was disappointing. Now that I know, what I want to do is help you guys so that if yours is having this issue, you know where to look right off and fix the problem without either paying some idiot online $10 to try to help you answer a question, or going to the dealer and paying them $85 so that they can quickly diagnose that, yep, you got a fuse there that shouldn't be there. So what we're going to do is go ahead and put a fuse back into here and see if we can recreate the issue, just so that we can then reverse it back out. It's like a blue 15. So I'll pull a spare out of here and put it back in there. So that should be, and here's the other thing. So when you look inside the fuse cover here, it even tells you there's a couple different versions of this, but you've got these are the versions. These ones here are for a direct injection turbo engine or the EJ engine. So this is the configuration I have, but that is referring to the triangle here that could be different on the two different models. The one that we're looking at is over in here. So if you look at, here's one of the blue fuses there, which is for the high-low headlamps, it must be. And then this is just X'd out, and that's where the fuses that we just stuck in there. And just that easily we've recreated it. So it is now in test mode. You can see that air conditioner cycling. If you can't, you can hear them all up over in here. All these relays everywhere throughout here are all cycling. The fans cycling high to low. You can feel relays over here clicking and cycling. So now we'll go ahead and shut it off. Okay, so now let's go ahead and remove that fuse again. Stuff it in here with the spares. And see what we get. And just like that, she is healed. So hopefully that will help y'all. I wish I'd have known about it. I wish I could have found something on it prior to be able to get in and out of test mode. Now you know how to do it. So we're done there. Let me go ahead and get into the seat belts. Okay, so what this company is, they're not a sponsor, but it's called Safety Restore. And so it ends up being a pretty good deal. So this here is a two-stage seat belt. I'll unwrap it here and show you a little more about it. But this company was able to repair this for $99 back to factory and register it in a database indicating that it's good to go. This one, and that's the passenger side. The driver's side only has a single stage, just the ball bearings. It's just the ball bearings. And so that one will be, I can see where they put it back together. It's crazy looking. But anyway, that one is the driver's side, and so it was only $69 to get it back up to factory snuff with the explosive charge there for the safety features that came with the factory. I did already buy another module, airbag module, whenever I replaced all of the airbags. I just did this one as an issue. This thing was like $500, like $650, I think. I think I got mine for around $500 with the sponsorship. So for $50, they reset it. They remove all the codes. So I did it for two reasons. Number one, insurance, in case once I plug all this in, the other one that has already been, running with the new airbag module and the seat belts still registering as blown, that just in case it trips something in the new module, I can slap this one in. But also because I'm going to sell this sucker. It cost me $50 to get it back up to snuff. And I wish I'd have known about this company before I spent $500 for that one. First thing to do is go ahead and disconnect the battery when working with the airbag systems. And the seat belts are in fact part of the airbag system. Normally when working with the actual airbags, I was giving them a couple hours in between to discharge, but I'll just go ahead and discharge the system like that. And now we're good to go inside. So this is the one on the driver's side that I was describing. I got a zip tie on there to keep it from reeling in. Essentially, this part, you can look here, nice and new. This is where the all the ball bearings are that discharge into this. That little piece looks nice and tight and new in there, because they had to undo all of this and repack that with the gears and this new charging system. So that all looks good. They also, you can tell where they have had this pried back or disconnected so they could take this part apart as well, and it's been put back together and either heat sealed or glued, it looks like, to give it some security there a little bit. So anyway, that is the new setup ready to go for the driver's side. Single stage on the driver's side, double stage on the passenger side. I will keep that straight so that this belt buckle is ready to drape across the driver and then clip in. And then coming back across the lap flat like this, back down to here, where this big bolt goes in just below the seat belt. Carpet back around there, and there we go. So let me snip that off. So there we go. Now I just got to get the top part here. Again, this is just still popped out and pulled back. I got this started by hand. Let me see if I can get a ratchet on it. A little tough to get the different tabs in on both sides there. Kind of had to pull this out to give myself room to angle them in, but there we go, they're in. What I do is hook up this here so the little yellow tab is pulled out. Stuff it in, pop the pin, good to go. Alright, let's do the same thing on this side, though it is a little more complex because it is, like I said, a two-stage. So we got all this extra room back here for the two-stage. You can see the second pigtail. One stage, two-stage. To tell that the second stage is fired. But here's the second stage, plugs in here, and you can see it's just got a cable, and my guess is it pretty much just pulls it in. And this is for the lap belt portion, so the part that comes up across your lap, it also can cinch down against your waist while this is latched, and meanwhile the top one blows the bearings into here to keep it from unreeling and letting you go forward. So you're getting doubly held, once across the waist, once across the top in addition to the inertia rail. My first step is going to be to feed the stage 2 back in here. You can see it's a little more complex. It's got to get back in there and has a hook here that goes back and hooks up into the side frame, as well as the big bolt up front here. So that's why all this plastic has been pulled out. Now, I'll be honest with you, when I sent this in, it didn't look much different than this. The amount of cable that was showing there looked about the same. So in my opinion, I can't tell you 100% that second stage did blow. And it is difficult to see that they did anything different to it. And so when I sent it in, I only set it up for the $69 charge to do the first stage, even though it's a 2-stage belt. Well, they contacted me back, and I think they just automatically charge you the $99 for the 2-stage, even if it only did need one. But it would be odd, I think, that maybe only one blew and not the other. So they probably did something to it. There is some evidence that there's been something gripped onto this that probably had to spin this off, so that makes me feel a little bit better. I'm going to go ahead and finish up this bottom part here so I can get this closed up. So I'm going to go ahead and put the tab is pulled out on the yellow connector here. Pop that in and secure it. Let's see if I can get this back in here the way it's supposed to go. Seatbelt's in. Time to hook it back up and see what it does. We've got the seatbelts in, the new module, not the one that I had rebuilt or reprogrammed, but the module, seatbelts, all the connections hooked up, both of them over there, primary and secondary, and the primary here. Fingers crossed, no seatbelt or airbag light. Boom! It must take like 10 times. What am I on, 8? Trying to get the passenger. So this one won't operate the passenger side. Even though that side learned it in like one switch after plugging the battery back in. Good to go. This side's dead, so we're relearning it over here. Oh, there you go. I don't think you did it. I held the button down longer. Okay, so now that that one works, this one controls it now. All right, seatbelts fixed, airbags are fixed, completed that entire job. Could have done it with a $50 reset on the module, so lesson learned there. But you know, if you're going for just a strict drift missile, a track car where you don't care about airbags, and you're just going to leave them out and put a quick release steering wheel or anything like that, then the job we did early on by pulling out the ball bearings and just bypassing that so that the seatbelt still had the inertia reel lock would have been fine for you. But I'm trying to get this one back to essentially back to factory stock, and in order to do that, that airbag light can't be on. So for, like I said, good reasonable price with this company, worked out well. There are probably other companies out there like them. These guys aren't sponsors, so please shop around. As far as the fuse fix, I hope that helps out some other folks with the test mode on the 15 plus STi models. It's a simple little fuse, pull it out and your problem's fixed. After we're done and moving over to the actual mod side of the Fearless mods.
Thumbs up if he should straight pipe it. He should straight pipe it first thing.
Straight pipe first thing.
Won't pass the inspections, but it's all right.
That's right. That's right. As long as we're past them first. Mishimoto is going to be a fun add to the channel as we get to that phase. So hold on for that. It's not going to be happening right away. I've got taxes to pay and a car to paint still. But we're getting there. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Take care.